Okay, what I want to do is show how to use this generator if you lose power at your house.
So, ang iyahang buhaton kay kanang unsaon pag kanang connect sa generator kung mawad-an na mo og kanang kuryente sa balay
Kung na mga
og naay mga kalamidad og may kuryente.
Okay, this generator is only a 2400 watt, so it's not going to power everything in the house, but it'll power the critical items.
So ang generator dili siya makadaog sa tanan gamit sa inyo balay. So makator mga kanang critical nga items katong mga necessary gyud nga mga
How many volts?
item.
All.
2400 watts so siya.
He's asking if how many volts can it hold? Can it
How many volts? Okay, this generator puts out 120 volts, but here in the Philippines, you guys use 220 volts, and I'm going to get to how we change from 120 to 220 later on when we get in the house. But this one's going to put out 120 volts, and the correct question, or the exact question you want to know is at how many amps?
amps? Di ay dili
So,
volts.
This is
Ampers.
Yes.
exactly.
Yes.
So this being a 2400 watt peak generator.
What's
Moto.
what's in what's an first is different, no? Different. What's
Okay. He's asking if amperes and watts are different.
Yes.
different?
Okay. And we'll write this down. Okay. This generator was designed for U.S. markets.
Kanang generator para sa kanang was designed kanang siyang gi-develop na siya sa US. So ang basihan ana kaya mga gamit sa US.
Yep.
Okay. In the U.S., we use 120 volts for certain items and 240 volts for other items.
Ikaw, bigyan mo.
120 volts.
Ang uban magagamit,
Ang
Iba
uban
siya
mga gamit kay 120 lang. Uban pud mga gamit na apoy 240.
No, 220.
to 20 or to 40.
240 mo may sa America na.
American.
Dili kini to American ni siya. Kini pwede po nag-design
Can you say it
Repeat,
again, Uncle?
Okay.
Repeat.
In the U.S.,
Ayos.
some items like light bulbs and so on
120.
are 120 volts.
Some
Then other items like stoves
Yeah.
are
Sa
240
US
volts.
lagi.
Yeah.
Yeah. So sa mga lighter ni ang ilahang mga kuan gamit dito sa US
120
kay 120 volts. Then katong mga stove, mga
Dagkong
sa, mga kanang heavy na equipments kay
220.
240
Sir.
240 volts.
Okay, here in the Philippines, you guys use 220 volts,
Yes.
60 hertz all the time. And the
60 hertz.
advantage to that is that on the smaller circuits where we only use 120 volts, you guys are using 220 volts, which allows you to cut the current in half and keep the power the same. In other words, the total energy used is in terms of joules. And the way to explain it is, we'll explain it like water because everybody understands water, right?
Yes.
So magkano siya na mag-water?
Tubig.
Ang process sa water, okay? Diba?
Okay, so we'll say that you have a water pipe, and we'll say it is 25 millimeters or 1 inch in diameter.
So, for example, sa water,
Water pipe.
ang water pipe has
25
25 millimeters and then how much diameter?
1
1
inch
inch diameter.
or 25 millimeters.
5 mm siyempre na siya.
Okay. 1 inch na diameter o niya
5 mm.
25 millimeters nga pipe, water pipe.
The same size na
So
siya.
say this is a pipe flowing water, okay, and you've got a barrel or something up high.
Okay.
So as the water falls from, say, a rooftop level, then you've got more force on the water. That would be voltage. So this water pressure in terms of pounds per square inch is the same, or could be compared to voltage.
So ang air pressure daw mura siya og katong voltage ana.
Then,
Different siya sa iyang height. Ang
So,
mga pressure niya.
Ang tank
Water.
nga nasa up.
the water is going faster the further it goes down.
Because of gravity.
Current or amperage is the speed of the electricity flowing through the wire. And to be exact, it is 1 coulomb, which is 625, followed by 16 zeros.
That's not, is it necessary, Darren, to explain that?
Yes.
Like, is it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I know.
So in scientific notation, that would be 6.25 times 10 to the 18th electrons past a given point in a second. And that's how fast it's moving, to answer his question.
Okay. Mo na siya ang difference sa amperes o volt. Sa amperes o watt?
Watt.
Wattage.
Hindi lagi compare sa tubig.
Okay, compared to tubig.
Okay.
Voltage is the pressure behind it. The amperage is the speed that it's moving.
Okay.
So you would multiply voltage times amperage to get wattage, which is total power.
So ang pagkuha sa sa wattage kay
Voltage.
voltage times amperes, right? Oh. So magkabol. Ang
Ano
pagkuha
to?
sa
Tapos sa
wattage.
voltage.
So wattage,
So-
voltage times
Ilan
amperes.
amperes?
He's asking if how
amperes?
many amperes.
This motor. Oh, this.
This one is capable of producing approximately 20 amps. And I don't want to
20 amperes.
Ang kanang rep pila nag amperes.
How about the ref? How about the ref? He's asking
Ref.
about the
Refrigerator.
refrigerator.
I'd have to look at the back of that, but typically a refrigerator that takes 5,000 BTUs of heat energy, the run current on it will be about 11 amps.
11 amps.
Or,
11?
yeah, or the inrush current for a start run will be about 21 amperes.
Pandaron way mga rip way
Ah, how about
pandaron ning way aircon way rip kay
Only bulb.
He said that when we use generator, the ref and aircon cannot
only light
cannot cannot be used when
He's right.
okay.
rice cooker
only
rice cooker po
bulb?
Light bulb.
But Paul, sometimes you not use the electricity of light or bulb. You can only use one
Pwede
item.
para sa
For
cooker, ano?
example, you only use the refrigerator to run that day of using this
Kato ka pulit bisa ka mag-andar atong rip ato ka pulit.
So without light.
without light, without any light, only one refrigerator.
Okay, he said that if we use one
Diba?
refrigerator, can it
Run.
Yes.
O lagi mo
only one refrigerator with no other things?
Yes, and to simplify this question,
Pwede
if
lang.
you
Bukod sa gamit
overload
ang rip way
the
sugaman.
generator,
Yeah.
you're going to trigger the overload light.
Kung ma-overload siya pa, musiga ni
Ah,
pa.
yeah, oh, time.
And that'll make it simpler.
And
And I was thinking, as you were talking,
sign siya ba sa mulubi kung kuana.
go ahead.
Overload.
What?
I was thinking as you were
Well, I
talking,
have
another
bonus
way
ba
to
pa yun?
explain
Sign.
how electricity works.
Kana,
Sa mga to yahan gate kuan nga
Ano?
how electricity works kung unsa to ang ang dagan sa kwente.
Okay,
If you work the generator, if you who necessary inside the room, that kana lang gamiton.
Ano sa?
Ang kana bangog mag-andar ni sa kuan, ug unsay necessary ra sa sud sa balay, mao ra yung magamit.
Oh, okay.
Dili. Oo.
He said that only the necessary things can the generator accommodate.
yes, that's a good way to do it.
Mo to.
Like for example, last other week, you can only use
$10
the
to.
Question.
He's joking.
Ang hirap kung pwede, oh.
It occurred to me
Ano tanan?
a better way to explain
Sure.
it
Gamit ka rin kung way rip.
so that they would understand, instead of the water,
Kamera mo
Is-
po after.
electricity is like a truck. And think of the
Kaya ikaw lang
voltage,
mo.
is
Kanang
how
imong
big
mga
the truck
appliances
is.
tanan diha.
Okay.
Di ba silbi?
The current
60 amperes wag na tanan.
is how fast
Silbi.
the truck is moving. So your voltage would be how big the truck is. The current would be how fast
How
the truck
fast
is going. And the wattage is going to be how bad it's going to hurt when it hits you.
Oh, okay. So, different ka. Same.
Balik ko ako pa.
Ang iyang example kay ang katong voltage example na to sa truck, sa kadakon sa truck. Ang voltage
Ang
is
current mao ang speed.
okay, ang current is ang speed sa truck, ang kapaspason sa truck.
Money current.
Ang voltage ang kadakon sa truck.
Sa impact. Ang sa sa impact yun.
Ang voltage is how big the
How
truck
big
is,
is the truck.
and ang voltage is unsa kadakon ng truck. Ang wattage is the impact, right? So ang unsa ka kusgon
If it crashes.
ang effect sa kanang sa
Truck,
truck.
ang
Oh, sa pag-igo sa truck.
Money wattage.
Oh, mo to siya ang katong voltage, truck, voltage, wattage og
Current.
current,
Kakusgon o kabukaton, kadagko.
kapaspason.
The voltage is the current.
Dili, lahi. It's different. Lahi na siya. Ang voltage, ang kadakon. Ang current is ang kapaspason.
Speed.
Ang speed, ang current.
Speed.
Ang wattage, ang impact.
Ang impact.
Ang
So
effect.
the current is the speed.
Oh,
And the voltage is
kadakon, the bigger,
the,
the size,
the
or
size of
the,
the thing. Then the wattage, I mean the
wattage kay impact.
impact.
Sinyas na yung. Kayo ba na ko nimo?
No, they're joking. They're just joking.
So the way that you do things here in the Philippines is actually better because you can run a smaller wire. The wire size is determined by the current.
Okay. Okay, dire ko
Starter ka po na bro?
dire ko no sa Philippines kay ang inyo
diba?
ko no wattage kay magdepende ko no
Gago pala.
sa kuryente.
May sa Pilipinas,
220
magamit
ra.
ang gamay nga wire.
220 in Philippines.
Dahil sa Pilipinas,
220.
different siya kay Mayo ato sa Pilipinas, magamit ang gamay nga wire.
220 in Philippines.
Pila kayo sa bayos
Yeah.
bro? Pila ka bayos din ni?
Pila? Unsa?
Bayos.
Unsa values?
Ito ang basa.
Horsepower.
Horsepower ba?
He's asking if how many horsepower.
Figure 2 horsepower for every 1,000 watts. So this engine
Is
would be about about 4.5 horsepower.
Four
because
and a half
that's-
daw. Four and a half.
Yeah, it's not very big.
Dili daw kuno kaayo dako.
Okay. Ang katong imo gamay sa kwan city ba kabalis ba tong ano dito? Mo up. Pareha.
so 1 horsepower equivalent to 1,000 to
2 horsepower
horsepower.
for 1,000 watts,
Ah.
typically.
Horsepower to
1,000 watts.
2,000.
Oh,
1
1,000.
horsepower 2,000 watts.
Di, 2 horsepower, 1,000 watts.
2 horsepower.
2 horsepower, 1,000 watts.
Equivalent.
And that's not absolute because there's several different ways to create electricity. This one uses 3-phase full wave and then it's inverted. Or if you go with a single phase, it's less efficient. But don't get too hung up on that because we could get drowning people in the deep end of the pool. The way that, in fact, never mind, we'll pass on that because it's not important for your situation. So what we're going to do is this generator can either run off of the stock tank or it can run off a remote tank.
Okay. Ang kanang generator, kaya pwede rin siya ma-stop. Stop?
Stock.
Oh, stop.
Stop.
Maka-stop dire o pwede po dire.
The remote.
See?
Dire.
Yeah.
Maka-stop daw. Maka-stop ta ginani.
Gasolina.
Yung ang gasolina. Pwede ta
Dire.
makadire, pwede po dire.
Oh, pinagi dari.
Pasok?
So, two ways.
O sa bala.
Dire pa.
Ngayon, convert niya kini.
Ani?
Kana may pasoy po to.
How many hours if you use this
Magkaroon na
generator?
Oh, how many hours if you use this and then if you use
This,
this?
in
How-
working.
Okay, he's asking if how many hours can this work? Can this last?
Off which tank?
No, the whole generator. How many
If you
hours
work-
can it
working.
work? Can it last?
Probably about 3,000 hours.
Depending on how many you use as for
About
wax.
3,000 hours.
3,000 hours ko no. But
Gaya,
depends
gaya.
on the
3,000
things
hours?
that you
3,000.
depends on the things that you use this
Ako
for.
kadlaw
No,
kami.
Okay, I think.
Magdepende
Okay,
siya.
can I just interrupt for a minute? Is it the meaning like the tank?
Di ang kanan
Di
jud
pa
iya,
mainit.
pila ko no
Oh no, so before it gets hot.
No, I misunderstood.
Yeah.
I thought they said before the generator is
No,
junk.
Dili mo
it's
bihit.
before it overheats. Is there such thing as overheating the generator?
If it overcurrents,
Nay,
you're gonna turn
overload.
on this light right
Dili,
now.
man overload.
Na may light po, sinyas
Di
bigla
ba,
pa.
iba ang
It can run for 2 days as long as you have enough gas.
A week, 2 weeks. a
2
month.
weeks.
2 weeks.
Wait pa to.
Yes.
No,
Thank you.
no, no.
In case for the
Working
For continuous use,
Yes.
Oh,
2 weeks.
2 weeks?
Well,
Forever. Hours go.
Forever.
Yeah,
So,
ako sir,
Pero
kasi
it depends. It depends with your
how much gas? Kung
How
pila
much?
imo kasulod.
okay.
Sa
So,
kanlaw sa gabi, 24 hours ra. Hindi ka na,
Oh.
3,000 hours.
3,000
Dua ka sa o sa kasimana ka pa. Kapin mo.
Sobra.
Dua lagi ka simana ko na.
Dua ka simana.
okay, so let's get back on track here.
Pwede man
To
timulan
start-
mo magsigikuan under. Pwede na timulan.
Oh, you can refuel it if
Tinindot ni siya.
Pwede.
if the gas
Siya mo
will
nag-lecture.
run off ba? Tawag
Siya pag imuhatag
Sa'yo
na to.
tawag sa mahutdan?
Yes, and I'll touch on that.
Imuhatag sa
Kung
mga
magkarga gasolina, pwede yan magsigik under.
Pangutanog,
Can
iwan
you
ba nimo
still
butangan
refuel
before nimo
even
butangan
if it's
gasolina?
running or you're using?
Yes, and I'll touch on
Way
that.
off.
Oh.
Okay.
You don't have to stop the...
No.
Oh, pwede ba ipa?
No, you
Okay,
don't. Okay,
here, no.
repeat again. Repeat the
Let
question.
me show you.
Ang pagkatala ko, pwede ba gasolina nga nagsigisat under?
Okay,
Pwede
that's
din.
the question.
He's asking if you can refuel if it's still running.
Yes. Let me show you though.
Okay.
sige, sige. Okay.
Padayon
Sige.
ba ilide? Padayon ba
Pagkatanawon man niya ang saon.
Sige.
Okay.
Dabe, sige daw.
So if you're running off the stock tank,
No, dangerous?
Oh, he's
Naman-
asking
naman
if it's
din
not
po.
dangerous.
Ang host kami
No.
ito gali.
Dili man daw.
Para di makausik. No?
Try naman ganyan.
Ha?
Dili man daw.
Kuya, dili po. Kuya, dito sa pawaan. Kaya makusik-usik man dia. Matay
Sit.
dili kay suyo pra.
Are you sick? Oh,
Uncle Joe
yes,
said
Ah,
that it's better to use the
Yan, saya gamiton niya.
stock tank
Maganda.
compared to this one because it might get leak the fuel.
Because if you use the tank, it might the gas will spill
Out.
and I'll touch on that when we
It
get rid
will
of it. Now,
overflow.
what did you say?
What
Ano sa'yo
is,
mo ha?
what is the translate for Bisaya? Using a generator indoors can kill you in minutes. Generator exhaust contains carbon monoxide. This is a poison.
Poison. You
You cannot see or smell.
Okay, ibis.
Don't breathe the exhaust.
I-translate.
Okay, ang meaning ani Uncle, kay bawal ni siya gamiton sud sa inyo
Balay.
balay.
This one.
Kay
Like this.
mag
Never use
Mag-emit
inside
siya,
a home.
mag-
Oh na, never is. No, never use
Musingaw
inside a
o
home.
home.
A home,
Because it's the smell,
Singaw siya din.
This is an
Singaw.
open
baho.
room.
yeah.
Yeah.
open air.
Ang singaw siya pa sa...
Kadisan.
Singaw ng singaw baho.
Like this. Only use outside and far away from window, door and this.
We are outside.
Yataki na
Yes.
siya.
Sa gawas man ta wala man ta sa sud.
Oh lagi, that's
Pero dili lagi siya pwede gamiton sa sud. Kay mo kanang mo exhaust siya mo magpagawa siya og
Yes.
kanang poisonous kaning
Poison.
carbon
Tao pa
monoxide.
po, na mga utot.
Makadaot na siya sa tao ang carbon monoxide. It's poisonous.
Mas tao pa. Utot-utot.
We
Ina
are
nga ang
outside.
carbon monoxide dili diway baho, di
Di sad ka
makita.
makita.
Oo.
Ang carbon monoxide kay chemical na dili nimo makita, di sa
No
nimo
see.
masimhot.
no see and no smell.
So sick ko ano siya kanang silent killer ra
Oh.
siya.
Yes. Like COVID-19.
Okay.
Okay, back on track.
Back on track. To start this generator, and say we were just going to run it off the stock tank.
Aw ko para pa-start na ko no. Tanong mo,
If
yan na start. You say
Use-
you start.
Use the specified spark plug only specified plug BPR4A.
That's if you have to fix it later.
Later na, later. O niya na.
If you have to
Ina,
fix it.
ina.
If you have to, kung ato na ko na
Ayaron.
ayaron unya.
Okay.
Kung
Ayaron,
dili-
kung ayaron na
Oo.
nimo, ana na nimo na
Ano na
ganiton.
gamiton pagbasa. Pag-ayan.
Ano na basaha kay mo na ayaron.
Ganito ni mga specified nga spark plug anak niya.
Let's get him out here to keep.
No, it makes
We want him
No,
busy.
no, he's
no,
just
no,
curious.
it's better.
He's
We
just
want-
curious.
Busy.
Yeah,
Busy.
okay.
Busy.
So, to start the generator,
Ito bangit sa pool.
you pull out on the choke.
Start. Yeah.
Para ko na mo start, imo
Pull,
birahon
pull.
ang kani.
Pull.
lang siya.
Pull.
Pull out.
Pull out.
Birahon.
Bira.
Bira.
Yes.
Move the fuel selector to the on.
I-move ato sa
On.
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 Okay. Then there's a switch for on and stop.
Okay.
So move the switch to the on position.
Okay, i-move i-press lang ang on.
Okay.
Yes, yes.
And then go ahead and pull the rope.
Okay. Kaya di ka
Not super
taga-trabaho.
hard. Don't stand behind him because you're going to get hit.
Ging. Ay ko kayo.
Okay. No. Okay.
Pull back.
Now this is running off of the stock tank.
Okay. Okay, nag-under na off na to sa stock tank. Nag-under ko na gamit ang stock tank.
Me. Only.
Okay, we will try. We will
Kini.
try. Kani, pull.
Pull.
Pull first.
Ah.
You won't need to pull this now because it's warmed up.
Okay.
Once it's warm, that's a choke.
Di na.
Chok lagi.
Pa, kung init na, kung warm up na daw, kung init na,
Yeah.
dili na nimo na kinahanglan birahon. Diretso na
The
gani
first,
sa
the
on.
first. First.
Exactly.
Yeah, first.
Oh, susugod gani mo siya.
Oh.
Naon.
Okay na ba?
I-pull. Okay na na pa.
Di na man.
kinahanglan
Kuman naman
pa.
na.
Aya.
Di na kinahanglan ng birahon. Kuha na
On.
Oo, mana na.
On na.
On.
Katumpuan na lang ba?
Kari on.
On ang kuan. Switch.
Katong.
Di na switch.
Kanang on.
Yeah, on.
Ay, lagkos gagay.
Na, okay na.
Ready?
Switch.
Wala na kagas. Wait.
You hit this with the rope.
Igo.
Oh, naigo.
Para madere.
What happened
Oh, sorry.
was this,
Ah.
it hit, pushed in on this
Ala.
when you let it snap back into place.
It's
Very sensitive.
So just be careful of that.
Oh, pag amping ko na paghinay mo og
May na
mo gamit mo
May
sa
sa daigo.
Nag na siya may kanaswagan nasabta na mo na.
it's good that they learned how to
Exactly. Okay. Now, if you want to run it off of an outside tank,
Sabon.
Outside tank.
Dato rato lang tayo tubo.
Wala na.
Kinira rin.
Oo. Mamana sa outside tank.
Pislito di ay pa.
Muna sa outside
this
tank.
hit it.
Okay. I should
It just pushed in on that.
yes.
Kanya, wato na awas, di masabtan.
Masabtan.
Kanya, bular ka na sila, yung magsinirit mo sa mouth. Kung saan mo to,
It's good that my father touched this so they can know that it will spill off if you just touch it
Yes.
lightly.
Okay.
may nakasabutan to.
Now, if you want to run it off of an outside tank,
Tank.
Aw, karon.
Muna na
you'll
siya
use this
outside tank.
hose here. This hose has an arrow that points in the direction of gasoline flow.
Unsa to? Unsa to gini?
Arrow.
Aw, gani arrow.
Kuan ang gasolin sa flow niya day.
Pado.
Asa ang awas.
Okay. It will show o kanang ipakita ni ang kaning arrow kung asa ang awas sa gasolina
Asa padong.
sa
So-
padong.
This
Napoy arrow.
and this also has an arrow.
Napoy arrow.
Oh.
And the gasoline is going to
Di
flow
gid pwede
from the tank
makabali-bali.
to the generator.
Inada day, di ba pwede mabali?
Pwede.
From the tank.
Ha?
We want the gasoline to flow from the tank to the generator.
Kani siya maato na makuan kung
Gikan
ang
diri.
flow dira as gikan sa gasoline adto sa tank. Gamit ani.
So what we're going to do is we're going to connect the fitting with the picture of a gas tank on it.
Okay. So it cannot be interchanged.
Exactly. Tell everybody.
Yes, yes.
Oo, dili na siya pwede
Mabaylo.
ma-interchange.
Mabaylo.
Ang kanang
Dili
duha
pwede
ka-
mabaylo.
Kay naman siya kuan na siya picture
Guide.
pa.
Nagawid,
Na
guide.
siya kaning
Guide.
gasoline nga forma. And this one,
Di aron
wala. It doesn't have.
Aron na.
Okay.
Okay, katuro
So-
siya.
What we're going to do, because we do not have a boat fuel tank, we have this.
Ito daw.
Bolt fuel tank.
Boat?
Boat.
This is all we have. We would like to have a regular fuel tank, but we don't have it, so we're going to use this.
Okay. Wala man kuno tayo regular nga fuel tank, so kana na to gamiton.
So it's supposed to be a tank?
Yeah. What you'll do is you connect the fitting with the fuel tank to the top of this.
Ang picture para sa fuel tank.
Actually.
That snaps on.
Nasod na. Oh, okay na pa. Nasod na. Sa'yo na naisod.
Oh, sir.
Tragi ko ano.
Okay. So we've connected this end. Now this end is going to connect to the generator the same way.
Ang masaya na ning, ang masaya na.
Ha?
Ang masaya na siya.
Unsa?
Ang masaya na siya ang katuoy side.
Dili, ang
Ano,
katuloy,
wala.
kato ang
Gasolina.
inside.
Aron yan, gasolina mo.
Di, kato siya nga connector, naa siya gasoline nga sign na, na siya ka gasoline tank. Of fuel tank niya.
Na naiaaro nga.
Padong
Na.
sa dire,
Kanarang
the arrow shows that the fuel will go up here.
Actually, the fuel will never go in this tank because that would be dangerous. If it were to go in this tank and you had a 20-gallon tank out there trying to transfer 20 gallons of gas into this, it would overfill it and leak out on the ground. So it's got a pump inside. It's going to pump from that into the carburetor. It's never going to go in the tank.
Dili
Okay.
kay, na ra gyud di ay dili siya pwede dito kay mo aga siya.
Why?
So mao ang tangke niya karon.
Because we don't
Mo
want
nang
to
iya
burn.
tangke.
Mugamit dito
Mo ni
magpanging
ang-
budo.
How many
Magamit
liters?
dito magpanging
It'll
budo.
Dili
never
ko
go.
9 liters lang. 2 gallons.
Ano lang.
So we can't use even a tunnel there in the...
This is better, and I'll show you why. Okay, so we've got it hooked to the remote tank. And now we're going to go ahead and pump this
Ay, pambay.
until you feel fuel coming. And you want to try it now?
Pa-try daw.
Do you feel it now?
Maka-feel day ka. Can you feel the fuel?
Yes. You feel it?
Sige daw pa. Kantod ma-feel na nimo.
Ante.
You feel fuel flow?
Paano tayo?
Maka-feel ka?
Nanay gasolina?
Murag na ana.
Ana-ana daw.
Ikaw na nit. So ay.
May iba ng gawin.
O bito ibon.
Di man ka pa man na makuan ni pa man nag-andar.
It's going in here.
Yeah, there's that.
Okay.
Ana.
So now this hose is full of gasoline, no air. So we're going to take this valve and move it to the off position. With this valve in the off position, it's pulling from that tank. If this valve is in the on position, it's pulling from this tank.
Okay.
Isa daw.
Kung kini kung siya dai. Okay, no.
assign.
Oh, dai. Lagi, no. Ayun na lagi. Ina dai kung i-off ko na siya dai. Kung off ko.
Okay, kung kanang kani,
Oh, gikan
naka-on.
sa tangke nga tubig. Nga gasolina. Sige na, gikan sa
Kung
tangke.
ka-off.
Kung kani naka-off,
Gikan dito kay
gikan din he.
Oo. Kung naka-on
So
siya,
kung
gikan sa
naka-on,
tabas. Gikan sa tabas.
ani ang fuel.
Oh, kana.
Yes.
Okay.
Alisan?
So right now,
Nagagets ka?
because we use this
Aw, kani ba? Kani.
Exactly.
I-switch nimo sa off.
Pag dito magkarga.
Kung dili ka magkarga.
Oh.
Pag di on.
On. Kana ba?
naman na.
Dili.
Pa man.
Ang
Now
gas.
you can go ahead and start it again.
So mo start tapod ka. So i-switch na po nimo start. Ikaw pa.
Ayun na.
Wala.
Sakto, sakto.
Kana na ba?
Watch out behind it.
Yes.
It's not running off of this tank anymore. It's running off the remote tank.
Okay, matagal na ako. Ito,
So this tank can be way over here.
So, ang tank ko nung nandun na siya place,
Ilayo.
layo.
like, it should place it far from the,
Exactly.
okay. Ilayo dapat
So
ang
the remote
fuel.
tank could be way over there. If that remote tank runs empty, you simply unsnap from one remote tank and snap it onto the next one. You never have to add gas to the generator when it's running, because if you pour gas in a running generator, you can spill it.
So, kato, dapat nanto siya sa layo-layo dapat niya. Magbutang kag extra kanang extra nga kanang fuel tank para kung mahutdan ni imo ra na siya tanggalon didto niya i-transfer dayon nimo sa pikas nga galon.
Pero dili ka pwede magbutang sa
Pero
tangke.
dili na siya pwede nimo butangan kay it will spill off
Spell off.
mo agas.
Maglagsik ba?
Agas.
Pag naka-under.
Okay, kay wa
Kay magbukal siguro na dito sa inside.
If you, kuan lagi, kanang i-off
Sa?
din mo ang makina o
Wait na lang.
So if you will, it's asking if you will use this, so you have to off the engine.
Yes, if you put fuel in here, you might spill it. And you don't want gasoline on a hot engine.
Okay.
So that's why my systems, and you can hook it to as big a tank as you want. If you
30
wanted a
30 gallons,
30, 40,
yeah.
50 gallon
Mas
tank,
mas
whatever.
mas maayo kung dako nga tangke inyo gamiton.
Sa
Para
galon o
dili
sa
siya
container.
mawitan.
O sa container.
Dili,
O sa container, ganito para dako.
kuan, mas maayo kung daghan pa sa daghan. Para di sud mautdan. Or dili kung na dapat mag-ready kang extra.
So,
Okay.
let me ask you something. You were saying that you can transfer the entire thing, this whole
Yes.
tube, right? Move it to a different
Yes.
gas.
Because we only have this while we're here, in ideal situations, we will have one of these fittings in this tank.
Okay,
So we would unsnap from this tank and
Okay.
snap into this
got
one.
it, okay.
But we don't have one here.
Right. So in this case, you would have to move the entire thing.
Yes, in this case. And that's only because we're in a remote area and we're doing what we have to do.
So the best thing
when you
you buhat,
imo say
imo lang
i-off
tangtang
mo sa
ang
kuan,
taklog.
off sa. By the time your gasoline is running out, you have to off first the
Dili.
engine, then
Dili,
transfer.
na ibalhin na
dili na.
nimo.
Balhin na,
Ibalhin na nimo ang katong connector dito sa pikas.
balhin na nimo dong, di ka nimo.
While the engine runs.
Dili,
Okay.
kay dili man siya
Magandar.
mag-spill.
Yeah, okay, so and the reason for that is because there's a little bit of gas in the hose.
For sure.
There's gas in the float bowl, there's gas
Ayun,
in the
Okay,
pump,
so
there's gas in the fuel
now
filter,
here's the
gas
thing.
in the hose.
Okay, the question is, how long do you have from transferring, pulling that one tube to the other tank? How long do you have before the engine is going to?
30 seconds.
Okay.
But as
30
you
seconds.
saw, it only takes about 2 seconds to move.
Okay. So
Okay.
kung magbalhin mo mga 30 na segundo ang inyo good gap.
Ma-consume.
Ano mo lagi na
Oo.
dito buhok.
So you have to be ready.
Di, kana, bay, pwede na na, ano.
What
Pwede na ang taklog, di, tibok
What you would
Oo,
do-
tanggalon. Kana kay lisod kay gibuan naman.
Di, tibok taklob lagi.
Ako na buwan.
Tibok taklob imo
Tanggalon
tangtangon
lagi
mo
ang
imo
taklog.
balhin.
Kana kay naglisod siya kay kuan man huot.
Tibok taklob imo tangtang.
Automatic na.
under better conditions,
Careful
we
your
would
head.
have a larger fuel tank, and we would have quick disconnect fittings on top of several of them. So you just
Your head.
unsnap and snap,
Okay.
Careful.
and it
Babe,
would
your
take
head.
you a couple seconds.
Careful lang.
But we don't have that here.
Exactly.
Niningwa na isabta na niya, may empty na siya, no?
I was asking
Now my kids,
if you can't see, you don't have a sign if
Sa sign niya nga,
if the
mawala
fuel
yung
will run off.
Okay.
If it runs out
Oh, I
and you
see.
didn't notice it, you move it to another tank and you just restart it.
Lalo lagi dahil.
So you just
Was
see
isip na ng gapit nga
the
ako.
tank if it's
Empty na siya.
if it's drained already.
Yeah.
Yes.
Di man
So-
pala.
Wala,
so-
kanaray mo sa tank.
So the sign, let's say if you're running from the stock tank, kano sa makasabot nga wa na when do you know that it ran out of fuel?
You don't.
When basic it stops.
Sino?
O wala.
So,
Di mo lang ko ang usa nabit. O ta nabit ang usa ka tang ang puno ni siya primero. Pila ka oras gid nga ma-empty siya.
Depende, okay, so he's asking if you fill this up with
Primero siya.
1.9 gallons, how many hours can you run it? I said it depends on how much you are.
Subaw kita nga wa na siya.
Oh.
Oras na lang ang iyang.
Dili, depende sa imo gamit.
How many amps are you really using?
Depende sa mo.
Dili sa oras, depende sa
Pila ka amps?
items na gigan kita na. Kilailahi ba sila ang
Dagagad item dagang
Oo,
Yes.
dali
Yeah.
na siya dali na siya mahurot.
So they're saying that the more
If you
items.
just had one light bulb, it would probably run about 12 hours.
Nah.
If you're running in a refrigerator, it'll run about 6.
Kung refrigerator 6 hours na, kung kanang light bulb
Bilya,
12 hours.
Okay. So, does everybody understand how
Yeah.
to start the generator?
Kung ano mo sa akong pag-start sa generator.
Oh.
Sige.
Ikaw na.
Sige.
Ang konti you will try.
Paul, sa kini sa gimita sa tangte para
Ayun na lang do kay nakataod naman do.
dili.
We went off.
Off do, off do.
We're on a remote tank.
Katulito bro.
Okay. Remote tank naman lang.
Katulito bro.
No. Yan.
Sudan ito pag
Di na kay
Oh, positive tigid.
warm naman na.
I-on day.
On.
I-on day do ka
On
na.
na.
Okay, on
Okay.
na. Ayun na
Di na kayo
Warm
na.
up naman.
Soy lang usa.
Oh.
Okay. Go pa.
Okay.
Okay na.
Now, we're going to take this and plug it in
Saksak mo na.
right here.
Agad ko na connection.
Connection sa balay.
Sa
Hey, what's up po? Your head.
Papare na siya ko bro. Pinga bro. Papare na. Pili na po dito.
Oh, pariyan.
Ha?
Oras yan, bye.
Ngay, ang kaya na. Plastic.
Ubos na.
Di na ito pa.
Ako na Hindi magsugat ang sa
Dili mo ubos.
ECDC.
Yan man na ikuan.
Okay. Have them all come in.
Pasudla ko sila.
Nari ko na oy. Next. Bakit? John, nari mo John. Nari ko na. Nari, kung isnak na ko no.
Bay, masigal na balik sugat, bay. Taka, bay, pang-pao. Yo!
Is
Oh,
everybody here?
snack.
Okay.
Snack, you can have your snacks.
Now, because everything here is supposed to run on 220 volts, single phase, 60 hertz, and that generator puts out 120 volts, single phase, 60 hertz, we have to run it through this.
Converter.
So dili siya parihaman dire no.
There's a switch on the back, and you'll put this switch in the 115 position. That means 115 volts coming in to this.
Ito pa i-switch siya to ninyo.
Hmm?
It's na 115 volts. nakabutang
Right here.
i-switch.
If you were putting 220 volts or 230 volts in, you put it in this position. But we're going to be putting in,
215. So,
so
tatlo,
that's,
115.
this will now plug into this. You notice the power light came on. So it's got power. This right here is a circuit breaker, and it will blow if there's an overload.
Mag-blow ka na, overload.
Color? Blue?
Di mo kuan mahunong ba? Oo. Mumurag mabuto.
It's a-
Explode.
No,
Like-
it will just flip down.
At split
And that
down.
shuts
Di
off.
ba siya mo work? Di siya mo work.
Ah, it will shut
Automa-
off.
Automatic.
Exactly.
Kung overload ko no, kaya it will shut, mapawang na siya automatic.
That's
Okay. Now, before you hook this up, always shut off the power going into the building. Because if you put the generator on and the line feed from the power company, you're going to have a problem. So,
Shut off.
Dapat i-off
Off
sa
na.
ang main power.
The breaker.
I-down sa to.
can you shut off
I-call i-down po lang control.
Shut off daw ko ng
right
cool.
there?
Yeah. Breaker pull.
Pull it down, and all the lights are going to go.
Down.
Down.
Okay. So now,
May down to?
we have shut off the power from the power company.
Yeah, can you go on morning rip?
Wow, automatic na off na na. Naka-off na siya.
I'm going to go ahead and shut off
Sir,
the air conditioner.
sumot.
Hindi, may tabog din na to i-off ang main power.
Mga kuan man.
Mix man sila.
Mix man sila.
Okay.
Madaot tanan mga appliances.
Then,
Okay.
Kuha naman.
we're going to take a patch cord,
Kuha lang yung...
Por pin.
and we're going to plug one end of the patch cord in to one of the outlets
There's a sign ata?
that says 220 volts. We're going to plug the other end of the patch cord into one of the outlets that's 220 volts. Now turn on this line.